The AIrBNB IPO, long awaited, long promised, looks like it's going to be happening by the end of the year 2020. I'm Tom O'Byrne, real estate agent with Douglas Elliman Real Estate. I make videos on the New York and Long Island housing markets. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. Reach out if you'd like assistance in buying or selling a home. My contact info is in the description below. AIrBNB is looking to raise $3 billion in a December IPO, according to a new report for the home sharing startup. Reuters reported AIrBNB plans to file a prospectus in November after the U.S. presidential election and will look to make its stock market debut by the end of the year. Those sources said AIrBNB could hit a $30 billion valuation, nearly double its $18 billion valuation in April when it secured $2 billion in debt and equity. AIrBNB filed confidentially to go public in August, just months after travel ground to a halt and the company lost $1 billion in bookings. In May, the company laid off nearly 2,000 employees, saying it expected revenue to drop by more than 50%. In 2019, AIrBNB reportedly generated $4.8 billion. In recent months, AIrBNB has reported a rebound fueled by travelers who don't want to stay in hotels, supposedly. In January, the company said customers booked more than 1 million stays for the first time since March 3rd. News of the IPO comes on the heels of a report that AIrBNB costs New York City renters $178 million a year. Studies have examined the impact of AIrBNB on rent prices in New York City, finding that the short-term rental service pushes up rents. But Sophie Calder-Wang, an assistant professor at the Wharton School at University of Pennsylvania, took things a step further in a new study. In a report titled "The Distributional Impact of the Sharing Economy on the Housing Market," Calder-Wang looks at the differential impact of AIrBNB on renters by race, income, education, or location. Calder-Wang concludes, in the presence of severe housing market supply restrictions, the welfare transfer from renters to owners becomes substantial. In a city where the majority of the residents are renters, unregulated AIrBNB will likely hurt the median person. Calder-Wang also notes that the severe housing shortage in New York City is partly to blame for this dynamic. Therefore, a reasonable alternative regulatory approach is to allow housing supply to expand more easily. As we all know, in New York, much easier said than done. I've been following the AIrBNB news closely. I'm interested in seeing how this industry develops. I love the way that it empowers owners, gives consumers unique options for stays when they travel, and it opens up new places to explore that might not have a commercial hotel presence. But one thing AIrBNB lacks is uniformity. Industry insiders have said that after the health crisis, consumers are going to be looking for a luxury standard to be set in cleanliness and health offerings, something that hotels can provide much more easily than individual owners renting on AIrBNB. And something else affecting AIrBNB is regulatory agencies that makes pricing more complicated than it should be when it comes to booking a vacation stay. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below. Again, I'm Tom O'Byrne, real estate agent with Douglas Elliman Real Estate. I make videos on the New York and Long Island housing markets. Hit subscribe to stay updated. Reach out if you would like assistance in buying or selling a home. My contact info is in the video description below. Thanks again for watching.